Hello friends and welcome to today's tutorial. So friends, you must have seen the videos where if you take an image and if you just squint your eyes or blur your eyes or make the image smaller, then they appear to be a different image. For example, the image on your screen, it seems to be an image from a battle with horses and generals and swords, but if you make it smaller, let's just make it smaller, it kind of starts to look like a person, a photo of a general. Then again, let's look at another picture. It's again a very similar picture. It's a image of a battle, ongoing battle scene. But if you squint your eyes or if you make this image smaller, then it looks like it's a image of a person there. And similarly, I have posted this image last night. It looks like a bookshop or a bookstore or a library, but if you make it smaller or if you squint your eyes, it kind of starts to look like Shakespeare. So this was actually done in MidJourney. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do this in MidJourney. The process is very simple, but it kind of requires a lot of experimentations and tries. So I'll share the experimentation and tries that I did to come up with these images. So I'm here in MidJourney, and in order to create these kind of images, you first have to create an original sort of a blurred image on top of which you can apply another prompt. So for the first image, I'm going to try imagine portrait of George Washington. Now you don't have to render the entire image because we don't want a very sharp looking image. We just want a very blurred looking image. So in order to create this kind of half cooked blurred image, there is this command called dash dash stop, and you can stop at a number between 10 to 100. 10 means that MidJourney stops generating the image after roughly 10% of its generation process. Stop 50 means it will stop generating the image after completing half of the image, so on and so forth. So for my experimentations, I found that between 20 and 30 it works well. So let's try stop 25. So what stop 25 is going to do is it's going to give me an image which is only 25% done, which means that MidJourney is going to stop generating the image after completing 25% of its generation process, as you will see. So as you can see, the image is kind of half cooked. It's not really completely done, but you can say that this is a portrait of George Washington from America. So now the next step is to upscale any one of the image. I would suggest to upscale the variation that looks quite sharp. So for me, I think image 3 is a good candidate for this kind of images that I want to create. So let's upscale 3. So now the image is upscaled. Now you can go for very subtle. So if we go for very subtle, you can actually delete this prompt. Now remember, your remix mode has to be, I will show you how you can enable your remix mode. If your remix mode is enabled, then whenever you try to vary, you will actually get a remix prompt, and over there you can write another prompt. For example, over here I want to write Battle of Fort Washington, and let's see what do we get. So because I have varied subtle, MidJourney is going to try to take this image and only change it very subtly, but still give us a more complete picture of a battle scene, preferably what it thinks what a battle of Fort Washington should be like. So it's about to be complete. So it's completed. So in the smaller images, you can see that when the image is small, it looks like we have 4 George Washingtons. But if you upscale any one of them, let's upscale the fourth one. So this is the fourth one, and if we make it large, we see that actually it's not really an image of George Washington, but it's actually something completely different. But when we look at the smaller image, or if you look at the image from a distance, or if we squint our eyes, it generally looks like George Washington. So that's a process that you can use to create this kind of very interesting images. Now in my earlier video, I've shown that this kind of images are much easier to create inside of Stable Diffusion because they have a separate control net model for this. Now MidJourney does not have any one of those models or anything special, so you have to do this kind of trick to sort of get this kind of images. Now another thing is that it also depends quite a lot on what kind of prompt you're having. I gave it a very simple prompt, and so it was able to create this image based on my simple prompt. But if you write a much more detailed prompt, I think that you're going to get more elements inside your image that can replace some of these parts which are very abstract. For example, this white part which probably doesn't look like anything around. Now, going back, now in order to get the remix version, you have to of course enable remix. I'm going to show you how. So in order to enable remix, you have to go to slash settings, and when you go to settings, you will see that there's a remix mode. It should be enabled. If it's not enabled, then you can click on it and it will actually create the remix mode. And then whenever you try to vary or whenever you try to re-roll, for example, if I try to re-roll it here, I'm actually going to get a remix prompt, so I can actually re-roll it with a completely different prompt. So this kind of options will actually come to you. So you need to enable the remix mode in order to get the kind of images that I'm showing you in this tutorial. So friends, I hope that this works for you and you use your creativity and try to come up with more interesting images and post it in our group, which is AI Art Academy MJ and SD. So in this group we post lots of tutorials, and also we post images which contains prompts so that you can learn from these images. You can learn from the video tutorials that I upload and many other tutorials that a lot of people upload. So I hope to see your creativity in this group. See you in my group and see you again in the next video. Till then, goodbye.